Hello guys and welcome to another interesting episode of Madrid My DNA, the home of everything Madridistas, as we discuss you through Real Madrid's latest and important update. Kickstarting with today's agenda, Juventus legend Claudio Marchisio, in an engagement with media outlet Goal, picks Real Madrid superstar Jude Bellingham over Manchester City maestro Kevin De Bruyne as his preference currently. We are going to be detailing you through that on this episode as we progress, and shortly after that we will quickly turn our attention to the next agenda of the day, as a report emerged recently to claim that Real Madrid ace Dani Ceballos might fancy an exit from the club in the summer due to lack of game time and unlucky injury spells at the club. We are also going to be bringing you details on that in this episode, so please stay tuned right up to the end. Do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bells so you do not miss on our daily Real Madrid update. Kevin De Bruyne is largely considered one of the Premier League's greatest midfielders of history. Years after year, the Manchester City maestro rocks up special performances with his magical boot and earned praise for his ability to decide games single-handedly. Injuries have not been kind to him this season, but he has once again enjoyed a strong campaign in the limited minutes he has played. It is thus but natural that Real Madrid phenom Jude Bellingham is compared to the Manchester City star and held by his high standards, considering the stellar season he has enjoyed himself. In a recent social media engagement with Goal, where he was asked to make his pick between two world-class players playing in a similar position, Italian legend Claudio Marchisio was placed in a dilemma between Jude Bellingham and Kevin De Bruyne. That is a tough one, but I will choose Bellingham, the Juventus icon said, snubbing Pep Guardiola's star midfielder in favor of the Galactico. The former Juventus man choice is not completely unjustified, for Bellingham has proved significantly more decisive in front of goal this season. The youngster has scored 16 goals and provided 6 assists for Real Madrid this season in La Liga, when compared to the Belgian maestro's 3 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League. One must mention, however, that Bellingham has played more than twice the number of games De Bruyne has played domestically. Bellingham started in Real Madrid's recent first-leg draw against Manchester City, but was far from his best on the night. He then played a very crucial part in Real Madrid's 1-0 win over La Liga side Mallorca, where he didn't score nor assist, but was one of the pivotal parts in the game. He looked uncharacterized, sloppy and casual on the night against Manchester City, often losing the ball and half challenges. De Bruyne, meanwhile, stayed on the bench at the Santiago Bernabeu for health reasons and did not play a part in the game. The Belgian is likely to start when Manchester City take on Los Blancos at the Etihad Stadium next week, and while thus go head-to-head against Bellingham in what will be a fascinating battle. Understand that the first leg at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu concluded in a 3-3 draw, with all to play for in England. It is left to be seen who will emerge triumph on the night. So having discussed and concluded with that, we are going to quickly turn our attention to the next agenda of the day, as Real Madrid midfield ace is likely to leave the club due to lack of game time. Real Madrid have the daunting task of beating Manchester City at the Etihad when these two teams take on each other next week. But while the club prepare for the big encounter, the boss is already working around the club for the season ahead. The team, after all, will likely go through a series of changes. One of them would be the exit of Dani Ceballos. The midfielder is one of the many players facing an uncertain future at the Santiago Bernabeu, and his departure looks inevitable. A recent report from George Picon has offered an update on the future of Dani Ceballos, suggesting that the midfielder has already started looking for options elsewhere away from the Bernabeu. Picons add that Ceballos is frustrated with his current role at Real Madrid. This is hardly surprising, as only Arda Güler has played fewer minutes than the Spaniard this season. It must be noted that Güler was out with an injury throughout the first half of the campaign. Ceballos, therefore, is indeed facing a precarious situation at the Bernabeu. While the season is indeed nearing its close, Real Madrid's focus on the UEFA Champions League could translate into a few chances for Ceballos. Last night's game against Mallorca was a perfect opportunity for Ceballos to showcase his ability in the starting 11, but once more he was snubbed by the manager Carlo Ancelotti, although he chose to rest a player for the blockbuster encounter against Manchester City next week. However, one might argue that it is too little too late. Real Madrid midfield is already overbooked, especially with Toni Kroos likely to be handed another renewal. An exit therefore appears to be the most logical way out for Ceballos. The midfielder has already then linked with a move to Atletico Madrid among other clubs, so it will be interesting to see how things transpire in the coming months. It is also important to note that Dani Ceballos' lack of game time this season has also largely come due to fitness issues, as the Spaniard has mostly suffered from one or two injuries and relapses from former injuries, which has led to Carlo Ancelotti almost losing trust in the midfielder. Other clubs would have shown interest in him include his former Premier League side Arsenal and also his former La Liga club Real Betis, where he could reunite with an ex-teammate in Isco Alacon. So having discussed and concluded with that, we have come to the end of this interesting episode. Thanks for following us right up to the end. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notification bells so you do not miss on our daily Real Madrid update. See you next time, and a very big Hala Madrid to us all.